it's Jen from Jen Geigley Knits, and today is my winding day for the Selena Slipover, and I am kind of preparing my yarn, picking out the yarns I'm going to use, and kind of getting everything together in preparation to cast on, and I'm very excited. I am already making some magic balls of yarn, which is explained in the pattern. A magic ball is when you take shorter lengths of the different yarns, like this one, and this one, and then you needle felt the ends together so you get more multicolored striping action in the stripes of your sweater. So like as you can see, this one has the gray in there, the yellow, the purple, and then the dark grays in the middle. So it kind of comes out nicely and you don't have to tie any knots, which is the best part. And so I've been using my needle felting tool, which these are very sharp, be careful. There's lots of different kinds, but this is the kind that has like a little guard around it. It has multiple needles inside, and then it goes into this little brush, and it's not dirty. It's just because I've used it on a lot of dark yarn before this, so it gets like felted in there. But you basically, I'll show you in a minute, but you lay the ends here, stab them many times with the needles. It sticks them together so that the yarn kind of joins. It's very magical. Also, yes, you might notice I just chopped my hair. Maybe you haven't noticed because it looks the same to everybody else, but to me it feels really short because it was like, I think I got 3 or 4 inches cut off yesterday. So I just wanted to say, if you noticed, yes, I got a haircut. Other thing I was gonna do today is I decided I think I'm gonna carry 2 strands of my alpaca, which is like my mohair replacement for the other stripes. And then I think I'm going to carry it with a 3rd strand of maybe one of these or both of these, depending on how much I go through. I just found some stashed yarn that's like a sock weight to carry along with this to give it more of a multi-colored blend, I guess, because that's kind of how the original sweater is. It's very mixed and like variegated, and then it has like the bigger, thicker stripes. So that's my plan for that. So I'm gonna start winding some yarn, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the magic ball with the felting, which is really, really fun. It's all kind of a part of the preparation process for this sweater, and I'm hoping to cast on tonight. So let's get everything ready. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm making a magic ball, which is a ball of yarn that is made up of all of these colors. And I'm doing about an arm's length of each and then needle felting the ends together. And by doing this, you get a consistent ball that doesn't have any knots in it, and you don't have to tie knots every time you change a color or weave in any ends. So it's it really is magic, and it's not my idea. This was in the Knit Collage pattern. There's instructions on how to do this, and there's different needle felting tools. And of course, if you don't want to do this, you can totally tie knots. But my next color I'm going to use is this gray. I already cut a piece, and I'm just going to find my end of my purple. And then this is the tool I have. It's just kind of a multi-needle punch tool. Be very careful because they're very sharp. You do not want your hands anywhere around here because you can get stabbed. So I'm going to unroll some of this and just lay it down here. I'm going to lay this one down in this direction and squish them together a little bit. And this brush really holds them in there nicely. And then I'm just going to stab. And I have to take off the safety. There's a little lock to protect yourself so you don't like hit it, because this goes up and down. Okay, the lock is off. And you just stab. And you don't have to overdo it because it will get kind of hard. If you do it a long time, it's gonna get like a little chunky like knob in it. So I kind of just twist it and lay it there. And this really does the trick. It doesn't seem like it's doing anything, but it's totally mashing those fibers together. Get my finger out of the way. It's not smart to have your hand on there at all. So that's already really, and then I do this. It's just like your, you know, regular felting, but this is strong. It's not gonna pull apart. Now it looks like it's part of the yarn and it just switches to that next color. And so, yeah, that you can see, now I've got like a multicolored ball. That's really gonna work nicely for my stripes, and it'll make the stripes look consistent even though they're random, and they'll all have these colors. And so I really like this method. So I'm gonna keep doing this, and then I think I'm gonna cast on. Okay, I think I'm ready to get started. I've got my yarn wound into the magic ball. I left some of it out in case I didn't do the right lengths, and I can kind of adjust as I go and I can felt more together. I just got something going so I can start. And then I've got my main color, and I think I'm gonna start holding it with this, one strand of this, 2 strands of this, because I think that's what Cheryl did in her, she's made 5 of these sweaters, by the way. Cheryl Kubat from Knit Collage, she's the designer of this pattern, and she just messaged me and said she's on her 5th Selena Slipover, and some of them are dresses and some of them are sweaters. So go look at her Instagram, I'll put it below, because she can't get enough of this sweater, and I can see why, because it's really an exciting adventure to even just putting this stuff all together. And then seeing how it turns out, I'm sure it's just like kind of a surprise. I got my needles ready because it takes the nice big needles. I don't know about you guys, but I just have a big needle pouch just for the big ones so I can always find them, because it's nice to have the different lengths. I have short ones that I use for hats and sleeves, and I have the big longer ones. I have, you know, a shorter one that I can use for, this is the best one, like for sleeves and little hats. This one's, I've used this so much over the years. And then, let's see, yeah, you need a 13, a 15, and a 17. But I think in the beginning, you just need the 15 and the 17. The 13, I believe, I just read it really quickly. I believe that's just for the neck, the cuffs, so maybe DPNs for that. And then I'll have to look about the bottom. I think the bottom's on a 15. But 15s and 17s is what I'm gonna start with. Got my needle pouch at the ready in case I need a different size, and then I've got my DPNs in there too. Got all my stuff together, and then I think I'm ready to start. It looks like the pattern begins at the bottom, and I like to knit my sweaters this way. Sorry. You start with the ribbing at the bottom in the round, so you get to knit the whole body in the round, which I love, because then at the underarm you will separate for the front and back, and then you'll add the sleeves at that point, and then you can go back and do the neck, and you'll do the cuffs at the end of the sleeves. But I like that construction because I don't have to knit flat panels for the back and front. So that makes it go a lot faster. And on these needles, it's gonna totally speed along. So let's get started. Okay, after swatching the tiniest bit, because I kind of forgot to swatch, I was just so excited. I think, okay, this knits up thicker than I expected. This is like a nice, bigger mohair. I thought it was like an itty bitty skinny mohair. So doubled, it's quite thick, and I'm gonna check the picture to see if that's how the sample looks. So I might do 1 strand of this with a fingering, or maybe I will keep the 2 strands, but it's like pretty dense and I kind of like it. So I'm gonna mess with that a little bit more, but I think holding it with this was a little bit weird. Maybe not, I don't know yet. And then this was like too big of a contrast too. It looked kind of strange. So I think I might do this. This is Rowan's sock. I kind of like the purples together better right now. We'll see. I mean, this is kind of bluish in the picture, but it looks purple in my eyes. So I'm gonna swatch for a bit and see what ends up being the right thing. The thing is, I only have one of these and I have no idea how far this will go on these big needles. So, and I don't really have anything else similar to this, so I'd probably have to go buy more. I don't know. I might have to stash dive and see what I've got. Experimenting, I definitely like one strand of my mohair, which is not mohair, it's alpaca, because it's very fluffy and it blooms and it's thicker than I thought it was, which is great. So I'm gonna use one strand of this and one strand of the Rowan sock, and as you can see, it kind of varies as it gets lighter and darker, which will be really fun, I think. And if I need more of this, I think my local yarn shop carries this, so I can just run and get more if I run out. But I really like the purple that it makes together. It blends together, it's not too contrasty, but we'll have a little bit of color variation in there, and then it gives it just like a little bit of something different by mixing the two. And I like the fabric. This looks like the sample where it's like a little bit airy, but still, you know, not see-through. So this is what I'm going with. I'm gonna cast on for real because I start with this. This is my main color, and I'm gonna start the ribbing at the bottom of the sweater with this. And it's like, it tells you how many stripes to do, and then I will go into my magic ball and start striping with this. And then you just alternate and go to the underarms and divide for front and back, add the arms, and in no time, I'm gonna have a Selena Slipover. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm ready to cast on. I'm gonna use a mixing bowl as my yarn bowl, and I just throw that on the floor. My yarn bowls are not big enough to handle all this yarn, especially the knit collage. When we get to that, I'll probably have two mixing bowls, like one for the main color combo and one for the big yarn, so we'll see. But I try to keep it from rolling around the whole room. So I'm sure you've seen the cast on trick where you estimate your long tail cast on length by wrapping it around your needle, but in case you haven't seen this, I'll show you, because especially with big needles, it's hard to guesstimate how much you're gonna need. Sorry, I have some mohair on my face. I give myself a good tail, and then you just wrap around your needles 10 times, and that will give you the length of 10 cast on stitches, so you can estimate how much you're gonna need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wraps. So I've got from here to here, and that's how much I need. As I drop this needle, I need this much for 10 cast on stitches. And I'm going a little bit over 100 for my cast ons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a little extra. And that's a lot. Got a good pile on the floor, but then I know I'm safe and won't have to redo it. So I'm gonna start casting on my 15s. And then I'm gonna start my ribbing of my sweater in the round, and I will check in later as I start knitting. join in the round. This is not twisted. I checked, triple checked. But I wanted to take a minute to show you, I love little extras that come with the Knit Collage kits. You get a tape measure, a cute tape measure, a darning needle that's big with a big eye to fit the big yarn. The best part is the little metal stitch markers that are also just the right size to stick on your finger so they don't get lost, but also big enough to fit on the big needles, which stitch markers that size are kind of hard to come by. So I'm gonna pick the yellow one, and I've crisscrossed my first and last stitches. Not everybody joins this way, but I'll show you in case this is new to you. I'm gonna put it back the way it was. Okay, the way I join in the round, I'm sure this is really common, but some people are like, what? I've never seen that. I take this first stitch and move it to the other needle, and the stitch that was over here that was the first stitch, I cross it over and bring it to the other, to the right, my right needle. So I crisscross those, then I put my stitch marker on. You don't have to do that, you can just knit too, but I learned that a long time ago and I didn't know if somebody might find it interesting, but that's how I joined in the round. Now I'm gonna start my ribbing and I'm excited. It's so much fun to start these big color stripes. I'm stopping to make more magic balls as I knit. It's kind of a nice break, and I don't want to do too many all at once, so I'm just kind of making a big one every once in a while and then using that up and then stopping to make another one. Here's what it looked like the next morning. Knitting these stripes is seriously so much fun. Time to make another magic ball. Please be so careful when needle felting not to accidentally stab yourself. It's really easy to do. Just keep your fingers out of the way. Here's what things looked like on Saturday night. By Sunday, it was really growing. By Monday morning, I just needed sleeves. Update, it is Monday. Bimo is taking his little bath and the sweater is not done, but it's very, very, very close to being done and it's all okay. The weekend got busier than I thought it would, which happens pretty much every time. You just have more going on. The kids have stuff. On Saturday, I went to the Iowa Quilt Museum with Kay Gardner from Modern Daily Knitting, which will get its own video very soon because it was a really special day. And then Sunday, I taught at the Art Center an Art Spectrums class. So I already knew these two things were like part of the weekend, but then there was like everything else. So I did knit a lot this weekend, and this sweater is very oversized, like intentionally it's written that way. So it is a lot of knitting, but I am so close, and I'm very, very happy with how much I accomplished over the weekend. So I started Friday, I knitted a little bit Saturday, a little bit Sunday, not like all day, and I still got the entire body finished. So yes, oversized, yes, it's supposed to be that way, don't worry. So this is a drop shoulder construction. So the sleeves are actually going to be shorter than like a regular sleeve would, because this is gonna hit me, you know, halfway down my upper arm. So what the pattern says to do is try it on at this point. So I actually finished the neck last night because I was really excited that I got this far. So I seamed my shoulders, which is just a 3 needle bind off, which I did on the inside. So it looks really neat and tidy. And then you just pick up your neck stitches like you would normally and use your main color, which is my alpaca and sock mix. Pick up your stitches around your neck and then do a longer neck, fold it in and sew it, which makes such a nice, chunky, soft little neck for this sweater. It's so cute. Seriously, this is gonna be so good. I can tell already, like, I love it very much. So yeah, all I have to do now is try it on. I know it fits. It's so good. It's like, so snuggly and fun and cool looking. And I'm gonna like style this for real, but I'm gonna try it on today and measure how long I need my sleeves to be because it's really only that long. So I'm gonna figure that out. And then I also wanna talk about my yarn usage because I was like wondering how much will I go through, especially of my stash yarns. I have plenty, I think, of each, and it really worked out even better. They go really far, held double on these needles. So these stripes of this is knitted on US 15s and held double. It looks really, really good together. And then this is on 17s, the bigger yarn. So that's how that goes. And then the little neck and the cuffs are on 13s. So I have gone through, let's see, this is my second skein. I still haven't gone through 2 skeins of my alpaca. This is my mohair replacement. And this is sandness, whatever that word is, alpaca. And it must be like a DK almost weight. It's not super thin and it's fluffy, so it looks even bigger when you're knitting with it. So it really worked really, really well. I highly recommend if you're not sure and if you don't have stash yarn in your stash. I already happen to have this, but if you are gonna wanna make this sweater and you want to use something like this, this yarn is perfect as your other stripe color. So this has 120 yards and this entire body, which is it's a lot of knitting. This has only used, is that right? 1, and this is the second skein. And I've got a third just in case for the sleeves, but this is gonna go still really far too. And then the even more surprising thing, maybe it's not, but to me it was surprising. This is still my first ball of the Rowan sock. and it has done this entire thing. And I still have so much left. Like, this is still a ton of yarn left. So I definitely think I have enough for sleeves. Like, this is gonna get me there, plus these two. So I would say 3 of these would get me through, and 1 skein of sock, which is just like amazing to me for some reason. So this Rowan yarn has 437 yards, so that is pretty good yardage, and it's getting me through. So yeah, I'm holding these together for this periwinkle stripe, which, I mean, there's a lot of stripes there, and then the whole bottom ribbing, the neck, but now I just have 2 little sleeves to go, and it's not gonna be much longer, and this will be done. So the cool thing is the only seams on this are the shoulder seams, which is a 3 needle bind off, which is, it gives it like that sturdiness that you want. And then the sleeves are picked up, so I'm gonna do that next. So really there's no seaming. The rest of the body was in the round. And so I really like the construction of this. It's so fun. This has been one of the most enjoyable knits that I've done in a long time. Sometimes you just need a satisfying, fast, quick project that's ever changing and keeping your interest. And the stripes are just the right length where you're like excited to get to the next one. I'm doing my magic ball, which changes every stripe, so they're all different. It's really fun to see how that ends up working out every time. And this pattern has been a total breeze. They do a really good job with their patterns. It's really well written, very, very easy to follow, lots of sizes, and every size is meant to be worn with like 10 inches of ease, of positive ease. So they are supposed to be big, and that's the fun part, is just this big, chunky, fun sweater that's just fun to wear and fun to knit. So yes, this was a lot of knitting, honestly, but look what I did in a weekend. This whole thing in a weekend. Now I start my sleeves. Actually, I'm gonna try this on now. It's the moment of truth to see how this fits, and then I can measure. Let me get my measuring tape and measure my underarms. I'm gonna try this on. I can tell my front and back because the neck is really well done, and it dips down in the front like a nice crew neck, like it should. And the shoulder has shoulder shaping. It's just really nice. And I can tell this is my front because I have a nice little pink blotch here that helps me recognize the front from the back, which is always helpful. But let's see what it looks like. This is my first time trying it on. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. This is so cozy. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to finally try it on. I'm so excited. So there's my drop sleeve, shoulders. Oh my gosh. And this is so soft up here. Oh, it fits so nicely. This is so cute. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay, I cannot wait. This is cute just like this too, but I'm doing sleeves. So I'm gonna measure from here down. It's always like, how can I get it to, there we go. Okay, so my sleeve should be about 14 inches, and some of that is ribbing. So I might do like 11 inches and then do 3 of the rib. 14, is that right? Just double check. From here. Yeah, 14. Maybe I should measure this side also to make sure I have it like centered. Yep, 14 on both sides. Okay, then I trust it. It's always kind of hard sometimes to measure yourself, but that will make sure, if I hadn't done that, I would have done like my normal sleeve length, and it probably would have been too long because these go down quite a bit here. So I just have to whip up some super bulky sleeves, which will not take very long. And then I am done. No seaming. I'm so excited to see this finally come together. It's so fun. Even like not styled, this is just like my normal jeans. This is really fun. And would be cool like over lots of different pants, but with jeans, it's just kind of easy. Okay, I'm not the best at styling. I feel like other people are so much more creative with it, but I love this. This is like how I imagined it in my mind. It's my dream Selena sweater. I love the show. I just envisioned purple for some reason. This periwinkle is so cool with these colors and so striking against the gold, especially I feel. So I have no regrets. I am so happy with this and I'm gonna keep knitting. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I pick up stitches for an armhole in case you're interested, because it is a little different with the thick and thin yarn. And to be honest, I kind of guessed my way through this anyway, because it is hard to tell sometimes in these different stitches where you should pick up. So I just try to do what looks best. And then I try to hit my number, which my goal, I think this time, is 32 stitches for my size. So I'm gonna start at the underarm, which is here. This is the top of my sweater up here. So I'm gonna start down here and I'm going to pick up and knit with my main color, which is this. And I'm aiming down here for a V. So right here, I'm gonna get into the V and pick up a knit and make sure I get both strands. So I'm going kind of slowly and carefully because I'm kind of working with a bunch of stuff here. Next, I'm gonna go into this V. So I'm not messing with this necessarily. I'm kind of going underneath it and picking up that, pulling that tighter. And then I'm gonna maybe go here, here. Now I'm getting into the chunkies, so I'm gonna kind of go into these spaces here. I don't want huge, I don't wanna go in the big holes, but I want to get this in where it's gonna be secure and not leaving a huge, big gaping area. So right here, it's kind of tricky, but I think I'm gonna go, that's kind of a big one. I'm gonna go under here. Again, I've got like tails hanging out here, sorry. So I'm at 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm gonna stretch this out so I can see. Here will be 8. Here will be 9. 10. And I'm just trying to make sure it looks nice when I hold it here. Like there is a little space there. There's going to be some gaps, but when you start knitting it around, it'll be okay. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 11. 12. Adjust. This yarn is so fun, seriously, all these areas where it changes colors, it's so cool. Okay, what did I say, 12, 13, 14, does that look okay? I mean, I think so. In here I'm gonna go 15, and I should be about halfway right now because I'm almost halfway to 30. And I think this is my halfway seam, so I'm doing good if I'm at 15. 16. Here, I'm gonna go here. 17. 18. And I think this looks kind of okay. As I go around, I just keep checking to make sure there's nothing weird happening. And you can always undo this if it looks strange. You can just go back. Did I say 17? Wow, I'm bad at counting. 18. Did I get it? 19. 20. Let me look at how much further I have to go to get to 30. I think I can make it. Let's see here. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, I think I'm gonna make it. 26. This one's kind of big. I'm gonna go here. 27. Now, let's see. 28. 29. 30. Adjust. 31. Let's see. 32. And I might do one more and just knit two together because I don't want to leave a hole there. And so on my first round, I will knit two together to close that gap. But I somehow made it to 32 around, and I'm just using one of my little hat needles. This needs to be 15s, so I'm using 15s for this, and then I'll switch to a bigger needle to 17s when I get to the bigger yarn, but I have started my sleeve, and this will take no time. Just a couple of tips I will mention when you're making your magic ball out of all of the balls of yarn together. I have been doing pretty much arm lengths or 2 arm lengths for the sweater body. And then now I'm doing smaller lengths for the sleeves. So just a little bit shorter so that they kind of stripe nicely, because obviously the sleeves are a little bit shorter rounds. So I'm still making them really random. And then I do like to clip, when I join, I like to make 2 blobs at the ends, and they felt together really nicely. The thinner strands, obviously it's harder to get a good felt, but these blobs that occur naturally in this yarn, you can find them pretty easily, and that's where I snip and that's where I attach them together. And now that I'm getting to the sleeves, I'm kind of getting more risky and making shorter blobs that I'm felting together. I just felt them really good, and I kind of shove those to the back of my knitting. But that's just my 2 little tips as you are making your magic ball. So right now for my sleeves, I'm making smaller magic balls for the big stripes in contrast with these periwinkle stripes, just to kind of get them out of the way. And then this way I can ensure I've got a good mix of each stripe. This is about the size I'm needing for stripes-ish, and they might overlap. But I was gonna mention, if you don't want to felt your yarns together to make the magic balls, if you don't already have the felting supplies, like I already have this, I already, whatever. You don't have to. You can totally tie knots between each section. That's totally fine as well. I just wanted to show you the magic ball thing in case you wanted to try it. It is really fun, and it makes the knitting part go faster, but you do have to stop and make the magic balls too. So anyway, I just want to show you how I'm going about this and just let you know that you don't have to do it this way, but you can. And in no time, I had sleeves. It was so much fun seeing this sweater come together. Guys, I have a sweater. It's so good. The ends are woven in. It is totally finished. It is totally ready to go. I have sleeves. It's amazing. It's so good. So we can't really call it a sweater in a weekend, but I'm gonna call it a sweater in a long weekend because I started Friday. I just needed today, Monday, to finish the sleeves, and who cares? It's a sweater in 4 days. That's amazing. I'm very, very happy about it. And sometimes we just need a project like that, a quick sweater that you can complete in a few days or a week or whatever. This is just so much fun to bust out an entire garment in that amount of time. So I'm very excited. I cannot wait to try this on. I haven't tried it on yet, but I'll go over a couple things before that and then I'll try it on and then we'll be done with this whole thing. But I just wanted to say, my yarn estimation, like I never had to worry about running out of anything. I didn't even come close, which it's just amazing how far these smaller yarns will go on big needles, because look at all this periwinkle. This is still the same first ball of Rowan sock yarn, and it was like 400 and some yards, and I still have that much left. I only used the one skein and it went through the entire thing. I just am in disbelief. And then this is my third ball of the Sandnes alpaca, and it's still like most of it is left. So I used like 2.5 of these, and I think these are 120 some yards. So it doesn't take much of your extra stash yarn. It goes really, really far. So this plus the kit yarn, and the kit yarn I had plenty of everything. You can see I used all the colors throughout and I didn't run out of anything. I still had purple and yellow the whole way, and the dark gray and the light gray, and it's just fabulous. So I think it's time to try it on. Here it is. Are you ready? Because it's amazing. My Selena Slipover, knitted in 4 days, almost a weekend sweater. It is a dream. Look at this outfit, just like throwing it on with a pair of bell bottoms is so fun and so cozy and so perfect for my Midwest winters that are coming up. Look at this gorgeous sweater. It is a dream knit. The shoulders, the striping, the coziness, this alpaca mixed in like my mohair substitute. The sleeves are perfection. Like, this was an easy pattern to knit, a total dream as an end result in 4 days. Like, I'm already wanting to make another one. But okay, this turned out exactly how I envisioned and how I hoped it would. I love this periwinkle. I love it with the gold. I love the stripes, how they turned out, very random but cool. And all the colors mixed up in there. This amazing yarn that is just a dream to look at and to work with, because it's always exciting. Like, look at these little bits mixed in. It's so much fun. I'm super happy with the outcome. If you want to make one, you do, right? Check the link in my notes, because I have an affiliate link and I will get a small commission if you decide to shop using my link at Knit Collage. So there's Selena Slipover kits on their website right now. There's also all the individual yarns too, if you just want to do your own thing with this amazing like art yarn. It's just the best. And I will get a little commission off your purchase. So thank you in advance for your support. It means a lot. I had so much fun knitting this sweater over the weekend. I'm just having a blast, and I hope you are having fun too with your knitting projects. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this weekend as I knitted this sweater. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. I love that you're here. I read all your comments. I love hearing from you. So thanks for interacting and watching and hanging out. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a little thumbs up. And if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. And in the meantime, have a great week. Happy knitting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. of notes that I will mention while you're making your magic balls. Balls. Bimo agrees. This sweater's amazing and he really, really likes it. And he says, I was not slow in knitting it, I was very fast. Thanks, Bimo. All right, I'm gonna put you back. Say bye. Bye.